This is Bob, and I am glad you joined us today for VCC Connections. I'm going to try to share something that happened to me on Sunday, and I've ties into a lot of other things. But Sunday during worship, I had a little vision. Now, when I say vision, that's like an image in my mind, kind of fuzzy, but I know it's from the Lord because I can't make up this kind of detail. And but in this moment, it didn't take but a moment. What I saw is like I was like in heaven or something, and I saw priests come and pick up the Ark of the Covenant. Now, having an engineering background and having studied the Tabernacle of Moses for years, I started calculating how long were the poles that the priests were picking up. Now you think, you got to be kidding me. I know my wife would go like, what is happening here? But when I started looking at it, I realized there's lots of verses that describe the construction of the Ark of Testimony, Ark of the Covenant, and it describes the poles, but nowhere does it give a length for the poles, other than it says that the poles were extended outside the veil of the Holy of Holies. So that could be any length more than those 10 cubits that the Holy of Holies is deep. And so I did some calculations, and if the priests are walking in unity, that's the key, if they're walking in unity, it could be 12 priests pick up that ark, 3 at each corner. And they picked them up, and the poles go on the bottom feet of the ark. So the ark is above the shoulders of the priest, and they have it on a pole. And when that happened, they started moving forward. And what I saw, and here's the significant thing, there was thousands, tens of thousands of beings, and I assume those were people, who were celebrating as the ark began to move forward out of its resting place. Now, this is not the first time I've seen this kind of thing happen. And I believe the Lord is saying, it's time to get up. It's time to go forward. It's time to get out of the 4 walls of the church or whatever place you do worship the Lord. Get out, and because I'm moving. Now, as I was thinking about this, years ago, my wife and I stopped at Gettysburg, and we went onto the grounds, and when we stepped on the grounds, we began to weep. It was such a sadness. And there was a picture posted at the entrance there before you walked into where a lot of the graves are. And it was a picture of lots of people, and one person was a head and shoulders above everybody else with a stovetop hat. That was President Abraham Lincoln stood there, and you could see him above all the crowd. And then I realized that's what I was seeing. The ark, which has been down low, hidden from view unless you're right there in front of it, has been put up on the shoulders and is above the head, so anyone could see the ark as it was moving. Now, the other thing that occurred to me as I was watching this and reflected on it, that ark was not covered with skins, veil, or whatever. It was open. And of course, it's all in gold. And I go, why isn't it covered? Well, it was only covered while it was in the wilderness. And when Jesus rose from the dead, the veil was rent in two. There is no veil to cover the ark. There is no veil to keep it hidden. God is revealing himself, and his people are to carry his glory and release his glory wherever he's going. Did you see the movie long ago, Polar Express? And when it was time for Santa Claus, or whatever they called him in the movie, started to go, and he was taking off, all the elves were jumping up and down and leaping and so excited because finally he's on his rounds, his errand. And that came to mind. I think that's what the Lord is saying. It's time to get on. It's time to release. It's time for the world to see, through my people, my love for everyone. Just very powerful. I can still see that picture in my mind and all this excitement. Are you excited about the Lord? Have you seen him recently? Have you ever seen him? Then ask him to reveal himself to you. And that he, as it says in Isaiah, he releases springs of salvation. Actually, the Hebrew says he releases springs of Yeshua, Jesus. Ask him to release that so you can see him more clearly. And go where he's going, because he's preparing a way. Because we're to go on the highways and byways, everywhere, and not stay inside the cubicle of church or home group or meeting places or whatever you want to call it. He wants us to be out wherever we live and share his love with others. So the Lord bless you. May the excitement of the bubbling up of his spring of life overwhelm you, and that spread to all others in your life. In Jesus' name.